this next step, I'm going to show you how to make a leaf. Now, our leaves here, you can see, have got a point at the top and they're rounded at the bottom. You can see this is the front side and this is the back side, and you can see the back side, you've got the wire running down, and I've got it reasonably straight, and that's what we're looking for. Now, it doesn't matter if it's slightly a bit wonky, but what we're aiming for is straight. But actually I don't mind the shape of this leaf. It actually looks quite organic and quite nice, so don't worry whatsoever if yours aren't perfect. We're going to start by making a basic frame. This will be the frame for the medium leaf. So I've got my knot in the end, I've got my bit of stem area, and I'm going to bring down 5 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this will be called, when we're ready, our base wire. I'm going to just leave them down the bottom and forget about them for a moment. And if I turn it around so you can see, here we go. I need about, to leave about, is that about an inch or two at the top? Probably only about an inch is all I need. And at this point, well, that's probably an inch and a half, I would have thought. At this point, I'm just going to bend my working wire around and lay it over the top of this basic wire. So here's my end wire with my knot, here's my 5 beads, and I've laid my wire in a loop and it's sitting on top. I'm going to hold that cross. I need that much at the top. I'm going to hold this here, and I want to make twists here. And how I do that is put your fingers inside and widen this out so it looks a bit like a coat hanger. And then I want you to bring the wire towards yourself, and then each time you do that and you twist it towards yourself, you see I'm pushing it apart. And you can see here I've got my twists happening, and I'm going to twist. That's probably enough. It's about a ½ an inch. So then with the basic frame, what you do is, to make it straight, I'm going to pull it nice and tight like that to make it straight. So when I turn it around, now see my wire here is still on the top and I want that. So when I turn it around to the front, you can see now I've got, this will become my stem wire, which is this. This here will become this area here where you can see here, and this up here up the top will be this area here at the top. So we can begin. Now if you see, this is on top, and that allows me to lift up the beads slightly, and I can get them very close to the wire. And then when I push this down, you can see it's just sitting below. So that's what I want it to do. And then I'm going to put, see, by holding that wire tight, just like we've done before, then I can bring this up and keep it as close as I can, and take your time with this step, there's no hurry, and see I've got it nice and close. Then I can just, now I'm going to make a pointed top, so we'll need to go an extra bead at the top, so I'm going to bring it over so that it sits, see there's a bead more, bring this down, and see it's sitting above the beads. Now I need, in order to make sure everything's straight, and then to make the point, I need this to be at a 45-degree angle, because this is going to give me my pointed top. So just like we've done in previous, I'm going to take it around, but I'm going to come back down at a 45-degree angle. So bring it around your finger, and you can use your thumb, and then see I've come down at this angle. If I press it down, you can see that I've got like a little loop at the top. You see that? And then the angle is down here with this wire on the top. And you can see this outside one frames around this inner base wire. This is my base wire. This is my working wire. So again, pull it nice and straight, and when I bring in the next lot of beads, I lift it up so that I get the beads sitting on top of the wire, and that's making my point. Put the tension on it, bring it around, get it nice and close in place, and now the bottom here, I want to make a rounded bottom. So if I take this away, because that's going to give me, I want it to be reasonably even. So you see there, I'm above here, this is giving me my pointed top, and here I've got my rounded bottom. If I pinch this now, I can then just go around just like before, straight across and straight across, so that then now you can see this wire is sitting at a right angle to this. Straighten out the wire, bring it down. See how I'm bringing it up to bring the beads close. Put the tension on and bring this around. Now again, we want to go another bead above. So if I bring it up here, see that's sitting higher, and again I want to be at a 45-degree angle, 45 degrees, go around my finger, use your thumb or your fingers to push against this finger here, and then when I come down, instead of going straight across, I'm coming down at that angle. And you see now I've got quite a nice pointy top. So again, ready to bring up high, bring it around. It's about where I want it to be, and around over to the other side. So to do a medium leaf, now you can see I've got 9 rows already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows, and I need 11 for my medium leaf. So I'll just do my last 2. And now here's my last one. Get that bead right up the top there so that it sits nicely. Bring it in nice and close. That's good. And then finally, because this is my last wrap, I'm going to go around once, twice, and even 3 times, so that I've got a nice, secure, firm finish. The other thing I can do now is I can actually push it down onto the mat, and I like to shape it a little bit, so if I've got any gaps I can just make it sit just how I like it, and this sort of tends to firm it up a little bit too. Just push it into shape. Lovely. Not too bad. Not perfectly straight, but not too bad. Okay, so now all I need to do is, if I lift this a little, I can come in lovely and close with my cutters and cut it off. Hold this wire, don't forget, make your little loop at the end. Now with here, I can come in here with my pliers, and I like to just give it a little tap to get those wires down in, so that they don't have any sharp edges. The other thing I like to do is this bottom wire here. I'm just going to come in at the side. I'm going to cut them at different lengths, one shorter, one longer, so that I have one long stem, one short stem. And then over the back here, what I do here is to get rid of this, is I simply bend it over my finger, bring it down to the back. Now that it's bent down, it's got a memory. I can just bring it up, and I want to be able to tuck it in there. So I'm just going to cut it at that point. Just come in and cut that. And then I can come in and just tuck that in underneath. Hide it under there, out of the way. So now there's our finished leaf. So now that we've finished making our leaf, and you know how to make a leaf, there's 3 different sizes. So you have, this is the medium, this is the large, and this little one here is the small. Now the small one, both the small and the medium start with your 5 beads in the basic row. Remember, we started with 5. The large one has 9 beads in the basic row. The small leaf has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows, because you count this as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The medium has 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And the large also has 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But the reason it's larger is because we started with that middle row of bigger beads. So for this large rows, I need 1 large size leaf and 2 medium leaves. I'm going to show you how to shape a leaf now, because like I've done in this little one here, it's got some movement to it, which makes it more lifelike when it's on your rows. So it's very easy to do. Now this is the back side, so we're going to turn the back side over, and I'm going to put my finger halfway, about halfway up the back of the leaf, and then I'm just going to literally use my thumb and bend it over my finger. You can bend it quite a bit, and see I'm supporting it here and bending, and see already I've got some shape. Now to get a little bit more shape, you can take the end, and you can, now I'm really supporting here and here now, you can take the end and you can give it a little twist, and you can go one way or the other way, it doesn't matter. You could twist this way or you could twist that way, doesn't really matter. But then now if you look at my leaf, I've really got some lovely shape to that, and so it's making it more lifelike. And so that's how you twist your leaf. I'm going to start with my wire here, and I've got a knot on the end as always, and I'm going to bring down 14 beads, or really to start with 5 beads. So just from the wire, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 beads. I'm going to leave a gap, just like, so I'm going to forget those beads for now. And then up here, because this will be my stem part, I'm going to now count out 9 more beads. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to hold the wire here, and just like we've done before, I'm going to bend it over and make a little loop with the wire. Get it nice close together, like so, and twist 1, 2, 3 times. I want a reasonable size twist here. Straighten out my wire as I always do. I'll just turn it over. And just like we did with the leaves, I'm going to surround this, and I'll do it one side at a time, exactly the way we did with the leaves. So I'll just bring down some leaves, lift it slightly so that it comes right up to the wire. So I'll just bring it up to beside it, and it helps if you work sort of at that angle, but I'll do it flat here and get this nice and straight. It's good. Hold it down, and we're going to just make sure that they're just even at the bottom, so that we have a nice rounded bottom. And just like we've done before, cross over, around, whoops, and then back to the other side. Now I need to go up this side, so again, straighten out your wire, bring it up. Now this time I just need an even round top, and I'm just going to go up and across, and I can turn it up again. And so I've got 1, 2, 3, and I need just one more. Is just coming around to the bottom, keeping that firm tension so I can see where I want it to stop, which is even about there. And then again, down, around and across. Now because this is the last one, I'm going to go down, around and across one last time. But I need to make 5, as you see here. So we're just going to continue on to the second one. So I'm going to begin by bringing in my 5 beads. Now remember, we need to leave a little bit of space, which is about that much, so that we can allow for you know, the next leaf. But I also need to leave some space for this top loop. So I will say, okay, so if they would be normally, I would leave that sort of space there. Then I also need to leave a little bit of space for this top loop. So I'm going to hold the wire in this spot. I'll just let those fall down. This is my spot. I'm going to bring up my 9 beads, and then I'm going to now make my loop just like we did before. Get it ready, and then twist. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now that that's in place, I'm ready to begin. So I'm just going to straighten out this wire. I'm going to get this one out of the way, like so. And now I'm going to come around here. Now I find it easier if I turn it upside down, just so that I'm working away from myself. I could bring my next lot of beads down, which that'll be at the front there. Bring this up, pinch this in place, and then go around my finger and across. Then I can come around this side, get this in place nicely. That's good. And again, you can, it's good to work downways. So I'm here now. Bring this up. Around and down. And then finally, one more time. Bring up the leaves. Around to the bottom. Fill in all the little gaps. Pinch it, and around once and a second time, so that now I'm ready to start my next one. Now this one I can just push out the way, and I can go on to the next one. So again, we want to keep this straight to start with, and you can also just sort of push it in a little bit. this one out of the way. Measure it across to here, bring up our 5 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start about there. That's good. Leave a little gap. So this is where we're going to pinch it. Bring up 9 more beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. And begin again. Make a loop. Now that I've come to the end, I'm just going to give it one last twist, just to make sure that it's all secure in place. You can shape your little leafy bits if you want to. Bring them in, make them all nice. Finally, just straighten the wires and trim them. Please join me for part 3, where we're going to assemble our flower.